review this build. So it's been a long time since I've posted any kind of update on this besides the initial thread. In this video there is going to be a link to my thread, which I will update probably after I publish the video. Let's go kind of through it. The last time you saw me, I think I was only running like a couple auras, so don't mind my big hideout legs a little bit when you first come in here. Okay, so I now run. There's the Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, Wrath, Anger, and Clarity. Okay, so we got all these 5 buffs up here. I have enough mana regeneration. I can currently run a level 9 Arctic Armor. Turn that on. So here's our dude here. Okay, let me go through my gear, and then actually I should probably do the passive tree first, and then we'll kind of see how everything is. Alright. So, this character is a Shadow, okay? So, as you can see here, we go out the Elemental to Trickery, down through the Life Nodes to Coordination, and Sniper, and then the tree goes 2 ways. We have one here that goes over to Charisma, Ballistic Mastery, Heart of Oak, Finesse. So since this is a bow build, we want attack speed, and we also want pretty much all the aura nodes that we could get. Okay, now here's the interesting thing that I've kind of done since then. Okay, so obviously jump here and get influence, but I've spec'd into Eldritch Battery so I can have enough mana regeneration. Okay, so we have these life mana nodes over here, more mana over here. In future levels, I'd like to come over here and get more life. That's 12% life there, pretty easy. Attack speed, aura stuff. Inner Force, very important. Regeneration, again, good. We have some of the life wheel here. Resolute Technique, because this means I don't have to invest into accuracy nodes, which is really nice. And then over here, we've got Discipline and pretty much all the good Templar nodes. We have the Elemental Triangle of Doom. We've got the whole aura cluster here, some life nodes here. I may be able to actually get some more efficiency out of this by dropping a few of these life nodes, and then coming over here and getting this node. Again, this is 3 points for 14% though. So I'd have to drop a 4, a 5, and a 5, and I'd actually get more. So that's something I might do with a few points. Alright, so that's the tree, as you can see. I'll go through the gear and the skills. Okay, so ignore all the stuff in my inventory. I have a bunch of scrolls and crap. Don't worry about that. So I'll start with my bow. Okay, so I'll have this bow here. It's a 5-link thicket bow with just some good elemental rolls and attack speed. This is really all you need is elemental damage rolls and attack speed. Having 2 flats and then maybe a % wed would be ideal, but you don't really need that much more than that. And here you can see my main skill. We've got Tornado Shot. It's currently 1720. 1720 is more effective than level 19, so it actually does more DPS. Weapon elemental damage, obviously, this is something that we really want. We've got 2020 GMP.
That's Big Hero 6.
Faster attacks.
Was it good? The rest of it? I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, I'm kind of in the middle of something. So.
Well, I'm here to interrupt you. You're going to have to learn to have patience.
Anyway, can you close my door? So for the sake of... Thanks, Bruce. Alright. Anyway, so, the skills here. So, we've got 2020 GMP, attack speed. Okay, GMP on Tornado Shot is really good because it enables it to shotgun. Okay, and we got faster attacks. Obviously, this bow is about applying elemental damage as quickly as possible. And then we have Pierce. So Pierce doesn't really add to the single target damage, but it makes it much more effective for groups. This is something I might consider dropping if I had better gear and that kind of thing. I'll move on to my helmet. This is something that's quite good here. This is it doesn't really have that good of rolls on it, but it's got life, mana, rarity, and some resistances. I found that adding a little bit of rarity to your gear, if you can, really improves your drops. So in here, I run my level 20 Anger, level 20 Wrath, reduce mana, and my Arctic Armor. My Arctic Armor is just sitting here because I used to socket haste up here, but I don't run haste ever at the current time. So having Arctic Armor is great. As you can see, I'm currently running level 9 I'm working on improving my mana pool so that I can run a higher level. And then here's my quiver. This quiver is okay. What I would really like to do, actually, is I'd like to replace this quiver with a quiver with Wed, Life, attack speed, and then like a couple good resistances. And then what I can do is I'll be able to replace my helmet with an Alpha's Howl and get +2 aura levels on my Wrath and my Anger, which will be huge. That would be fantastic. I actually have one of the correct colors. It's just a matter of making sure I can balance my resist and my mana and stuff like that. So, coming with that, potentially I can have a better amulet. This one's pretty good though. It's got a lot of stats. It's got some life and resist and flat damage that I put on there because I couldn't put anything else. So, this is fine. Here you see we have Wed, Rarity, Mana, All Res. I can improve that All Res roll, but I don't need to right now, so this thing is fine. And then we have another ring. This one, again, it's just kind of a placeholder. It's not like super ideal, but like again, this build is relatively budget, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, this chest I had sitting in my stash. Do not consider this potentially budget item. This is a 500 ES chest that has life on it and resistances. I added something to improve those resistances a little bit, and I've skinned it so it looks nice. This is a very good item. I switched out of to this item from my old armor evasion chest because it nearly doubled the size of my mana pool and let me run another Herald. So that was something really big to improve my damage output. Here's my belt. This is a belt that I had on my old Righteous Fire character, who I've since respect. And this thing could have Wed and has good resistances and very good life, so I dropped it on here. It's fantastic. And in my chest I have my curse, and then I have like the rest of my auras. Reduced mana, clarity, Herald of Thunder, Herald of Ice. I mean, you don't really even need more links on your chest unless you want to like put like some kind of Herald of Thunder curse on hit thing in here. I don't really need that, so, and also it's kind of hard to roll like, well, it wouldn't be hard to roll links for Herald of Thunder here for the curse on hit combo, but the big thing here is that I need 2 pieces to run my auras anyway, and I don't really need another 5 link or 6 link because tornado shot's all we need. So here's my gloves, life, evasion, attack speed, some resist. They're pretty good. They're not good, but again, these wouldn't be super expensive. And in here, I run my mirror arrow, my blink arrow with increased duration and faster attacks. So I've been really liking these things in the build. They let me move around, they let me distract enemies, and they're very useful overall. The increased duration is really cool because if you time it right, I can potentially have 4 clones out at a time, which is really cool. It makes people laugh in parties, and it's very effective to distract enemies. And finally, we have these Riptide Series boots that I got from a person in my guild for pretty much for free. So I just have these because they're good, and this chest does spell damage is nice. But again, if I were to implement the Alpha's Howl, I'd probably just use a good pair of rare boots with resistances. I'd probably go for this same color setup or green, green, blue, blue. What I currently run in here is Split Arrow with Chain, Curse on Hit, and Warlord's Mark. So the purpose of this is to give me some life leech. If I had a 6th link, that would definitely probably be the last gem on there. I don't really need the mana leech. My mana is fine. But the big thing here is that having that life leech is really important, especially when we go up against reflect packs. Okay? So, I mean, my flasks are pretty standard. I'm not going to go into super in-depth on these. These aren't things that, like, you need. This isn't like you have to have this flask for this build. They're just generally good flasks. Okay? So if I go over my damage here, as you can see, I'm approaching 10k tool to DPS on the tornado shot. So what this really means, though, is since this tornado shot is GMP, it means that it's going to fire 5 projectiles that explode, and each of those explodes into 5 more. So I've typically found that I've tested this by shooting corrupting blood packs, and the way this works is that per shot I typically get either anywhere from 4 to 6 stacks, averaging 5. Okay, so basically to calculate your DPS, you want to multiply the number you see there by 5. Okay, which means I'm approaching 50k, which I think is really good, especially for a Resolute Technique build that pretty much doesn't use like crit or anything like that, and it's all pretty much budget gear, except for the chest. But again, you can still achieve like very high DPS, like 40k plus, without like a super good like Eldritch Battery chest like the one I happen to have. As you can see, I got okay DPS on the Split Arrow, but again, I don't use this to clear. is just used to apply the curse. Okay, so as you can see, it's level 17 or above, so it shoots 6 arrows here. And eventually I'm probably just going to get this 20/20 because I don't really care about the mana cost. My elemental weakness is leveling up currently. It's at 44% loss, which is pretty solid. And then my mirror arrow and my blink arrow, the clones do nearly 10,000 DPS, which I find really funny because, again, if I can get those 4 clones up against a single target, it actually increases the damage by a lot. Okay, you can see we got 4,500 life over here, about half that in mana, 2,700. I can run a quick map here. Let's see. Let's just do a colonnade because colonnade is really easy. Generally speaking, you will get to see me kite the boss here. Oh, I made all those arrows appear. And if anybody does want to see like how I made my hideout, I'm always adding to it. So I can probably make a video where I add some things to my hideout, kind of explain what I've done, some of the cool combinations you can do. A lot of the coolest things you can do with the hideout in this game actually come from stacking multiple decorations inside of each other or near each other in creative ways to achieve the desired look. Alright, so let's turn on our Arctic armor. Oh, I'm level 87 right now. Just thought I'd mention that. Alright, so I'm going to go to the left here. As you can see, we just utterly shred things. I mean, again, this is a lowish level map, but as you can see, okay, here's a reflect pack. So I'm just going to fire off the curse on hit into it, okay? And I can just fire away. Nothing doing. Jump that with the blink arrow. And as you can see, enemies are frequently getting frozen, shocked, or ignited. I have 10% chance to cause each elemental status affliction. That is from the 1.3 tree, which is a change that's been very beneficial to this build. Like that new Templar area was extremely very good for this character. As you can see, I'm bleeding, but I don't really care. This character has a fair amount of life. Oh, GCP. This character has a fair amount of life regeneration. Let's just sort of demonstrate. I don't want to demonstrate that yet. 72. Sweet. Alright, so you see that zombie there. Okay, he's getting hit by the Herald. Okay. Let's just demonstrate how much damage they do. See, like, they both shot him and he died. So, I mean, the clones do a fair amount of damage. Like, if you run into an extremely tough reflect pack, what you can actually do is you can just constantly summon up clones and let the clones kill them, because the clones actually do enough damage they can kill them, and that will keep you safe. It's not the fastest way to clear. You only really want to do that if the reflect mob is extremely dangerous. Elemental reflect is probably well, it's not probably, it is the single biggest weakness of this build. But at the same time, okay, I think the boss is over here, so I'm going to drop a clone just to see if I can draw his aggro. I'm seeing these blue packs here. So as you can see, oh, there he is. I'm a long range curse. And this is an archer build, I can just kind of off screen. So just make clones. He tried to attack me there. Bring another clone. As you can see, he can't really kill the clones, and there he's down. As you can see, I really distracted him with the clones, and he wasn't really able to do that much. I'll pick up this stuff later. I'll finish the map run here. And as you can see, it just rips through most packs. Again, remember, I have level 20 auras, and I'm not using an Alpha Sal. If you use an Alpha Sal earlier, with this character, you can achieve this level of damage at a much lower level, like probably even in the 75s. But again, I haven't been incorporating it because I want to see what the limits of the build are without using like super powerful uniques like that. And it's still doing very well. So when you see like the bloodlines in the stream title, if you're watching the stream, I'm working on a Bloodlines version of this character. I have died not a few times in softcore, but not much after I started doing the build. I did this build off of level 46 shadow I had, just like waiting to respec that was kind of useless. So I began at level 46, which is where my Bloodlines character is close to right now. He is level 42. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to switch into the Archer build, because right now I'm leveling with Freeze, Pulse, and Fire Trap. But enough about that. Let's finish clearing the map. Hey Ming, I'm in the middle of making a video, so...
Oh, I'm hauling that in the way.
Yeah. As you can see, the character attacks very quickly. The attack time on the tornado shot is 0.27 seconds, so we're approaching 4 attacks per second. It's important to note that bows are a lot more limited than other weapons in attack speed. Other weapons can roll up to 27% increased attack speed. Bows can only roll up to 13%, which is not that great. I would be very happy if they introduced a unique bow that had higher attack speed. But it's rather unlikely to happen. The highest attack speed bow in the game right now that's not a Wind Ripper is Stormcloud, which is very good for leveling this build. When I switch to the Archer, I might try to get one. So that's the plan. Anyway, what I'll probably do is I'll probably cut the video into 2 segments. I'll probably do one for the map run and then one for the... Alright, as you can see, there's a reflect back here. I'll see if I can... He did a little bit of damage, but he kind of died too fast to do anything significant. There's still a zombie down there. Okay. I want to see if I can find someone to demonstrate the damage of the clones, but since Herald Thunder is going, it's kind of hard. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll come back and pick up the rest of those items once I'm done with the video. Oh, what did I do? I don't know. That's fine. I'll see there, I think I unintentionally clicked on an item and then lost control of the character and went in for it. It happens sometimes. I should probably turn on only pick up items when key held, but sometimes I'm kind of lazy. Alright, so we got a rare allies can't be killed pack here. So a brief thing, if you don't already know how to aim the tornado shot, what you want to do is you want to shoot behind the target so that the initial shot penetrates them, and then the other arrows will explode out and hopefully hit them with more things. That's how we can achieve up to 6 hits. So we achieve the hit from the initial pass-through, and then we achieve up to 5 additional hits from the rest of the arrows. So I generally put the cursor behind the target I'm trying to kill. Alright, so I believe that's the clear. 2 left. That's pretty much clear. Alright, so I'll do it for the map. I'll go ahead and clean this up, but that will not be